Hi, my name is Mike Bevel, and I would like to thank all the NCAA football college coaches and administrators that have taken the time and initiative to listen to this speech. I'd like to start by asking everyone to take a second to think back when you first started playing football and the things that you learned from the beginning. I think you would agree that you learned discipline, respect, and most of all, integrity. Now think to today. Think about today's college football league. Are kids still learning those things? Are they learning respect, discipline, and integrity? I don't think so, and I think there are statistics to prove it. Today, NCAA football is faced with a problem that is threatening the integrity of the sport. But with the proper solution, I feel that America's Saturdays tradition can finally be saved. If you go to the next slide, you'll see statistics that help my cause. You'll see in Isidor's report that BCS schools are now making much more money than they used to and at a very rapid pace. In 2010, BCS schools made 11% more than they made in the year prior. Also in McMurphy's report, you'll see that the BCS schools account for nearly 80% of all the major infractions since 1987. This is a startling fact, and I think it opens the eyes to the problem of today. It proves that in today's NCAA football league, that cheating is paying off, and it's paying off big. On the next slide, I've pointed out some highly recent publicized infractions. In 2010, according to the USC article, USC was providing illegal benefits to its players, notably one player who ended up winning the Heisman Trophy. In response, after they got caught, they got punished with a 2-year bowl ban, a 4-year probation, a reduction in scholarships, and much more. These infractions go much deeper into the program than just the surface. These infractions don't last just for the 2-year bowl ban or the reduction in scholarships. They last to a point where the program is damaged for years, and that is what's most important, is a long-lasting punishment. Now, according to Dorman in his Ohio State report in 2011, their coach Jim Trussell neglected the infractions that he knew that was happening with his team, notably his star quarterback, Terrell Pryor. Now, the penalties have not been handed out yet, but already, before even the punishments are handed out, the coach has resigned. Star player Terrell Pryor has stepped down from the team, and they have major NCAA infractions heading towards him. Now, in Giglio's UNC report, and this also happened in 2011, UNC has been charged with 9 major infractions, which is the most in history. And though the punishments have not been handed out yet, it is going to be thought that it's going to be the most severe punishment since SMU's death penalty in 1987. Now, these are some very successful, highly publicized punishments, but there's still a lot going on behind the scenes that just doesn't add up. Now, if you go to the next slide, you'll see that I pointed out that there are repeat offenders, some major programs that are having these secondary violations that are adding up but not adding up in punishment. These teams are finding loopholes and they're finding ways to keep their hands clean from all these infractions when really they're at the root of everything. Teams are caught in this vicious cycle because in order to compete on the recruiting scale, on the talent scale, you almost have to cheat. And this is a terrible cycle that needs to be broken. On the next slide, I've proposed a not very specific solution, but something that I feel will be very effective. It is very obvious, especially in Isidor's report, that there is a lot of money in college football, more than there ever has been. This money needs to be put in the right places. This money needs to be put into an agency, a large agency, that has the power to investigate any program at any time. Believe it or not, programs right now are actually reviewing themselves, and they're supposed to monitor themselves for infractions. This obviously is not working anymore. This large agency would help ease this ruthless environment that has created an unhealthy environment for cheating and is not allowing teams that are following the rules to succeed. This also will make the standards higher in the playing field. If you think about it, now teams know what to expect, know what they're competing against, and it evens it out, lowering this vicious competition. Though the competition will still be high, it will be in completely healthy ways. Along with this agency, I would hope that these greater penalties levied against USC and probably the ones against Ohio State and UNC will be levied against more programs, not just the ones who commit major violations, but ones who continue to violate these small ones that are obviously part of a much larger scale operation. On the next slide, you'll see that I'm using a kind of call to action. I want you guys, I want the coaches and administrators to realize that this is not necessary. This cheating environment This unhealthy practices are not necessary. If we level the playing field with everyone, no one will have to cheat. And that's the truth. I know I've mentioned integrity in the beginning of the speech and throughout, but it's because I think it's very, very important. As coaches, your number one responsibility, especially at the college level, is to teach young men how to grow up and how to behave in their adult life. As of right now, these major programs are teaching their kids that cheating pays off, and it pays off big, and it pays off in long-term successes. And that's not how it should be. That's not how the real world operates. So right now, I'm calling everyone. I'm telling you that it's time to change, and it absolutely starts with you. My name is Mike Bevel, and I thank you for listening.